How's it going? We're back again. What we're going to be doing today, because I've had a lot of emails, well not a lot, I've had a few, with guys asking how to coat inlines, regarding coating inlines. Of course you can see by the title of this video that we're going to be coating homemade inline leads. Today I'm going to be doing inline flat Pears 4 ounce, just to show you how it's done, because there's quite a bit of a fine art to it. And again, I'll show you how to do it today, and I'll show you how to do it so hopefully you don't burn yourselves. Again, it does, as I say, it's a fine art to doing it. I worked out how to do it myself, and so basically what we're going to be doing today is, that's when it comes out of the mould. Yep, that's the 4 ounce inline lead as it comes out of the mould. Again, these are pretty old, I've had these in Sweden. I'm going to coat them usually nice and shiny, as you know, when they come out. I'm going to turn that into that. That's the finished article. That's the finished product basically. That's a 3 ounce speckled brown coated inline lead. We're doing 4 ounce because I haven't got any 3 ounce inlines made up. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, is I'll show you the equipment and the tools that you need to be able to coat inline leads. So again, this is not showing you how to make the leads. We've already done that, yeah, because it'll take forever and a day to do that. But to make your inline leads, of course, you need an inline mould. There's your inline mould, and all you need is your mould and your T-bar. Yep, your stainless T-bar there. That is a 4 ounce inline lead. That fits in there, and of course that keeps the spaces for your rubber grommet and your plastic inserts. So that's been done, guys, so we can put the mould away. We don't need that. Not doing any basically manufacturing, handcrafted today. We're just doing the coating side of things. So if you look down here, you can see what you're going to need to make inline leads, or to coat inline leads I should say. Yep. I'll go through it individually so you know exactly what it is, and I will also talk about where you can actually get it from, because I do get lots of questions. Where did you get that? Where did you get your powder? Where did you get your lead? Where did you get this? Where did you get that? So I'll go through it bit of kit by kit. Right, so we'll just go around in a logical sequence. If you look down here, then you've got your T-bar. That comes with your inline. You need that for coating. Again, that'll come more apparent once I start coating the leads very shortly. Then you need a sharp knife. Of course, a Mora knife from Sweden. Very sharp, very good. Yep. Again, you need any knife as long as it's sharp. Again, that'll come into play later on. You've got your bucket of water. Yeah, cool water. Again, this one just happens to be the inside of our slow cooker. Right, you also need a file. Yeah, any file will do. And a pair of wire cutters, good sturdy wire cutters. Again, that'll come more apparent very shortly. You also need a burner. In this case, you can get these guys off Amazon. I think they're about, I paid 12 quid for this one. You get them on Amazon, you get them on like, I don't know, baking shops, cookery shops, because basically what that is, it is a burner for making the old creme brulees, you know, where they burn the top of the caramel or whatever it is, but perfect for coating your leads. Again, they're about 12 quid. You get them on Amazon, you can get them off eBay, you can get anything off eBay. Yeah. So in a nutshell, guys, all this gear you can get off eBay, so just search for it, yeah, and of course search for the best prices as I do, because my right fucking don't wash them though, because then the soil stains and that comes out and you don't have quite the same effect. Right, moving back to the lead coating. Right, so you got that. You might need a can of gas, yeah, and a couple of plastic bags if you're that way inclined, but today this is used for work purposes only. Again, that is, they work off butane, that is for filling that. Yeah, you will, if you do a lot of leads, you go through quite a few of them. About £1.35 from your local packy shop. Yeah. The corner shop I meant. The news Asians. Right, moving round to the actual components that you put in the lead. As you can see, I've got a couple of leads here. They've got tail rubbers, they've got the inside rubber grommets, and they've got the... I won't bother taking that. They've got a plastic insert. I'll show you that now. So there is your tail rubber, there is your plastic insert, and there's 2 different types of rubber grommet. You can either have a black one or a green one, depending on where you get them from. Again, the green ones I got from the tackle box in Kent, Lee Jackson's place, so that one as well. They don't do them anymore, but the likes of them, again, you can get them off eBay. You can also get them at Trafford Angling in Manchester, or the tackle box down in Kent there. Yeah, Lee Jackson's place. The other thing is, guys, when you do buy them, make sure you don't get these ones. These are the complete inserts, as you can see there in the plastic, and they're absolute shite. So make sure you get the rubber grommets, yeah, the rubber grommets, and the black plastic inserts. Don't get these ones because they're absolute turd, guys. You get these free with a lead mould, but don't bother using them because they're wank. Yep. Right, so there's that. Right, what else are you going to need? You're going to need your coating, aren't you? So in this case, there's my coating. That is speckled brown. Yep, and I've mixed that myself, and basically my speckled brown is, you get three colours. You get brown, black and green. And what I've done, I put 50% brown, 25% black, 25% green, and that gives you your speckled brown, doesn't it, Porky? There you go. So there is the coating. If you just have a look in my coating cupboard, this is my coating cupboard for making my leads, and there's all my different colours coatings. I've got sand in there. I've got my other little special coating, which I'll show you maybe in another video. Again, you've got sands, you've got the colours there, you've got green, brown. Again, there's gravel, there's plastic powder sand, different sands, different coarse, light, very fine chinchilla sand, and I even have little bits of gravel in the bottom there, so it looks like if you ever fish in the bottom of a fish tank, it'll be total camouflage. Yeah. Right, we'll shut that, and we'll get back to the actual coating of the inlines. Right, lads, so we're just going to stop the video for 1 second while I get this all squared away, ready for the coating. So see you in a minute. Right, actual coating of the lead. So first you've got to clean your lead up. So if it comes out of your mould, let's pick another one. It's going to come out like that with its little the little bit of whatever you call it, the excess. So just clip that off, guys, with your wire cutters. Again, get a sturdy pair. Don't go get a little set of wire cutters because they'll just knackle after a couple of times. So just clip the excess off. If it falls on the floor, just get Lee to pick it up later on because he's my bitch. Right, so then you're going to clean it up. You farted, haven't you, dirty bastard? What have I told you about farting in my man cave? What have I told you about farting in my man cave? I'm going to burn you. Right, so you've got to file off your... I usually have a little tub because I do quite a few, so I usually have a little tub here to catch the excess lead, the lead filings, but in this case I'm just going to crack on. And again, just get it all nice in ship shape and Bristol fashion, like so. File it down, and that's it. That's your lead now ready to rock and roll. Yeah, as you can see, it's got the holes in there. Well, it's got a hole in, and it's got the smaller hole at the top again. I'll show you how to do that very shortly. Right, so the first thing you're going to do is you take your T-bar that you get with your mould. I have to come over here and watch this very carefully. Stick it back in where it came from, basically. It comes out of the lead like that, and then just squeeze it through, like so. And that's it. That's what you hold now to be able to heat your lead up to dunk it in your plastic powder coating. First, I'm going to go into my little Hong Kong food book of Kung Fu tricks. Get my spoon. You need a spoon as well, guys. Forgot to show you the spoon. It's a fantastic spoon. I think it's silver, actually. It is. Look, I've got a silver spoon for my lead moulds. Look, it's got a silver stamp on it. So, first thing, grab your burner. Turn it on, heat your lead up. So you're going to heat your lead up, but be careful here, guys, because as soon as it starts getting shiny, that's when it's about to melt. Lead melts at 300 degrees, so once it gets shiny, that is it going to melt. Take your the heat off the lead. So there we go, that'll be hot enough. I'm just going to put that down there for a second, then I'm going to dunk this into my powder coating and just leave it there for a couple of seconds. Give it a shake and then coat it again. Basically just put the heat on, but again don't just put it in one place, because it'll just set the plastic on fire, it'll ruin it, and it'll stink of burnt plastic. We don't want that in the lake. So there we go, that's nice and coated. Then what you're going to do is just turn off, if it's not an automatic switch off on your doodah, your burner, and then that's it done. So we're just going to need to dunk that in the water. So that goes in the water just to cool down a bit, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do now. And you need to do this, guys, just to make it all nice and fancy. Otherwise, if you just rip that off, it'll rip all the plastic and it'll just ruin your lead. So once that's cooled down a bit, again, it won't fall off, as you can see, guys. So you just cool it down a little bit more, because once you grab it, if the plastic's still hot, when you pick it up, you'll get your fingerprints in the plastic. Yeah, if it's still soft, but it'll be, you can say it's your lead because it's got your fingerprints on it. So now what you want to do is, very important, guys, yep, you see the bit at the top, you need to score that, this bit here, so you need to score it with a sharp knife. So just go around, right the way around, score it with a knife, and then just twist like so, and you can remove it. The top bit's already fell off, as you can see now. You can just tidy that up with a little sharp knife, just tidy it up like so, and the top bit, as you can see. So that's the lead done. So now what I've got to do, it's cold enough for me able to handle that now, not a problem. So I'm going to grab one of my plastic inserts, and I'm going to grab a black one of my rubber grommets. So this is the funny bit here now, yeah. So what you have to do to get these in is put your rubber grommet in, like so, then put your plastic insert in, and then see how it pushes down. You can either push it in like so, which doesn't usually go, so get yourself a little hammer and just knock it in without bending the black insert. You'll feel that go in. There it goes, it's gone in. It's gone a little bit too far in, that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that in there and push it out again. There we go. So that's it. Rubber grommets in. That's for your swivel to make the bolt rig effect, and that is the plastic insert tip at the top. That is for putting on your tail rubber. So on it goes, like so. Push it back in, and that's it. There's your lead, ready to rock and roll. You can fix it to lead core, of course, which I do, or you know, the old safe zone leaders, tungsten rig tube, whatever you want. So that is how to coat a lead core, an inline lead. That's a 4-ounce flat pair, as you can see, guys. That is the finished product. So it's gone from that to that in just a couple of minutes. Yep. Right, guys, girls, chicks, birds, blokes with fishing rods and shit. I'm going to do one more for you now. It's going to be a 4-ounce inline. Again, exactly the same. I'm just going to do a different little coating for you. As you can see, I've made some 3-ounce flat pairs here. There's different coating. You've got the flat pair leads, you've got the speckled brown. I haven't put any inserts, rubber grommets in them, and you've got these. They look like a stone on the bottom of the lake. And again, I'll just show you a quick one how to make them. I'll go through the exact same procedure as I did with the other lead. First, I'm just going to take one. I'm just going to file it down. Of course, get it all nice. Just take all the. I'll put that out of the way. I don't want lead in that. And just file all the rough edges off, all the bits that stick out. Yep. There we go. File that. So there we go. There's the lead ready to coat. Again, I'm going to do exactly the same procedure as I did last time. In goes the T-bar. On goes the burner. Heat it up. Again, watch you don't melt it, guys. As soon as it starts going shiny, it's about to melt. Again, it's 300 degrees, molten lead, drips on you, you're going to burn yourself. Yeah, it's going to hurt. So that's hot enough. Into the coating. Into the coating first to get the plastic on it, because that's what your sand is going to be put into. So now what you do again is you just smooth it out, get it nice and shiny so it's hot melted plastic. Once it's nice and shiny, there we go, ready to rock and roll. You can turn that off now. There's my fine chilled chiller sand. I'm just going to dig a little hole in there and I'm going to place in my lead. I'm just going to leave it there for a couple of seconds. Yeah. And what the sand does, of course, it gets stuck in the hot plastic and it'll never come off. Yep. Just give it a quick shake. That's it, ready. Straight into the cold water. Again, just give it a stir around because the heat of the lead warms up the water around the lead. So if he keeps turning it, you get cold water all over all four sides continuously and it cools it down a bit quicker. So when you think that's cooled down enough, just give it a quick feel. Yeah, that's okay. Just give it another quick dunk. Again guys, grab your lead, score around the bottom with your sharp knife. Again, you're scoring it round, you're going on the metal there, so you might have to sharpen your knife a couple of times. Again, get yourself a knife sharpener, so basically a sharpening block there if you want. So again, that's scored around there then, so what I'll do now is I just twist it to break any seals that are left, and then I can just remove that from, and the top usually pops off as you can see. So again, there we go. The difference there. Again, there's no shininess on it and it just looks like a stone on the bottom of the lake. Again, these ones have dried. It's exactly the same. They're a bit light, but of course that one's wet. That's how it's going to look on the bottom of the lake, not the dry ones there. Yep. Tippity top. Right, so again, let's just rubber grommet. Rubber grommet in the bottom. Plastic insert, just give it a knock down with a small hammer. Once it's gone into the rubber grommet, then you can grab the old tail rubber, in it goes, there you go. So I've done them. How long has it took me to do them guys? Yeah, and you can knock up loads. I mean, coming from work, couple of hours, you can make a load and that's the finished product. So you've got sand, you've got a speckled brown inline 4-ounce flat pear lead. So that's how it's done. So that's us done for today. Next time I'll show you my other little coating, which is a fantastic little camo coating, and I don't think I've got any here to show you. No, there's none milling about here, they're all in my bag. But I've got loads. As you can see here, I've got some inlines, not inlines, back leads I've made. Yeah, up to 40 gram. Other little ones I've made. These are just ones I'm going to take to France in a couple of weeks. Sell on the bank. They're my little disc leads. Yeah, great centre of gravity pickup on them. Nails them. And just a few others in there. See, you got me hexagonal. Just bought a new lead mould. That's a hexagonal distance. That's 80 gram. And I've got 4. Well, 70, 80, 90, 100. Up to 100 grams. So that's it, guys. So that is coating inlines. Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah, it's as simple as that. But you need the T-bar. You don't need forceps, obviously, as you can see on that. Right, we've finished for the day in my man cave. Me and the cameraman, Porky Walky Woo. We're going to do a bit of spinning on the River Tees now, see if we can catch some pike. Right, see you later. Ta-da!